the link. All right. Welcome to the leader call on power hours. Basically, how I'm going to run this is I'm just going to show you a few examples of power hours and one or two that I follow, and then I'll open it up. You guys can add to it. So let's see. Okay, and some of these you might even recognize. Okay, are you guys still there? I don't see anyone. I don't like that. All right, I'll leave it like this. Okay, so this one is from Ford Fitness, and I got this months ago when I was first starting, and you've probably seen it. And I'm just gonna browse through these and check out your power hour that you have maybe, and maybe mark off if you see one of these things. And then come back at the end with things that maybe I haven't talked about that you have in your power hour. So adding to your network, 2 people a day, connecting with 5 people, just building relationships, non-Beachbody, sending out 2 invites every day, at least 5 people a week being talked to about coaching. So you have an invite goal and a coaching opportunity goal. Check in with groups, respond to messages, your online office, connect with your coaches. And talking about connecting with your coaches, I'm curious if you guys connect every day. I have my team call Monday nights, but then I message them one other time in the week and check in on them. And of course, they come to me if they need things. Check into the coach page and your Coach Basics group or any other training group, and schedule your posts for tomorrow. That was one of the first power hours that I looked at. The following ones are day by day. So this includes, if you include your workout and drinking Shakeology in your power hour, awesome. I mean, that's kind of a non-given or whatever you call it. For me, it's just like automatic, and I actually don't mentally include it in my power hour. Posting, of course, is also, and we'll touch briefly on the National Wake Up Call as well, if you took notes on that. But posting it's to me a non-negotiable. So some people wonder, how do you post 4 to 5 times a day, or 3 to 5 times here a day? And I kind of schedule it in and make it part of my business activity. And we'll just talk right now about the National Wake Up Call. She mentioned about posting and creating content during your power hour, 5-10 minutes maybe, running through your list of 5 topics that you're going to post about, and taking notes, like what are some ideas that you could use for posts. You don't have to craft the post, but just having your ideas on paper. And when you're at a time ready to post and you're stuck, you go to that list, pull from it. Goes back to the selfie thing where you take a good amount of selfies wherever you're going. Something seems like a post idea, take a picture of it, save it for later. I do that all the time. Okay, adding to your network, personal development. Okay, that's something else. And like I said, our power hours are different, but I don't add personal development into my power hour. I just make sure, well, I guess it is included, but it's not in the hour, because I actually do a half hour to an hour of personal development alone, just personally. And I know you start with like 10 minutes or 10 pages, but it's just, right now it's something that I just do every day, and I try to do a lot of it. Okay. If you're not muted, will you please mute yourself in the bottom left? Okay. Inbox or, message 3 people, see how they're doing, be interested in them. That goes also in my 10 in play. I make sure that I'm engaging with them on their wall and interacting, commenting on their posts and liking their posts. And so you can assign time limits to all of these and set a timer if you have to. I know that I've taken off the newsfeed on Safari, I want to say, but Chrome, if I pull up Chrome, the news feed's there. So I got to make sure that I'm working business on Safari because I know that has a plugin to take that off. And if you're interested in that, we can get you set up with that. But because we know that scrolling is not a business activity, and you want to identify what you're doing with your power hour and make sure that it's building your business and not wasting time. National Wake Up Call on Monday. You know, some of these things are things that you should be doing. And if you include them in your technical power hour, way to go. And if not, and you just do it and it's just non-negotiable, that's like National Wake Up Call for me as well. Check into team pages, group pages. These are all similar, it looks like. Okay, success partner. This is something that wasn't on the last one. I know that with me and Cassie, we message each other basically when we have an idea or have a question, or, you know, if we're running a group together, we're getting together to plan it. So I don't necessarily message her consistently every Monday or once a week, but plug it into your power hour if you need to make sure that you connect with someone. All right, if I just scroll down, it doesn't look like Tuesday's much different. I didn't go through these. I'll post these in the page, but this just kind of sets you up for a checklist for each individual day. And of course, Monday, National Wake Up Call is different from all of these. Okay, on Wednesday here at the bottom, add one post to other social media that you're using and comment on 5 others posts. So this gives you an opportunity to schedule a time to post to a different social media outlet and connect with people on there, for example, Instagram or something. So I feel like I'm a checklist person, and these are things that help me. And I do a similar thing in my planner where once a week I want to post to my blog. So that's not on a technical power hour, but it's plugged into my day Thursdays, so that I can just take a post from Facebook and copy and paste it over to my blog. Just trying to get into routine of that so that I'm building my blog, even though there's no interaction there right now. Okay, I've done this one. Down on Thursday, personally message your challengers. And what I did was I just took a quote that applied to workouts or something, and I wrote them a message with the quote and just trying to encourage and uplift them. And it was great, the response that I got back, because it was individualized and it wasn't just a generic. It was individualized to each of them. Each of them got the same quote, but then I put in a little bit extra. And I think that is effective with as you build relationships with your challengers and for retention purposes. That's one thing you can do. Okay, sorry, I'm just busting through these. So these are broken up. Let's look at these two actually. Okay, so I read this initially in the business, and it's kind of stuck with me that weekends aren't as busy. So your posting is not going to be the same. I still, on Saturdays, try to put in my 3 to 5, but my call to actions are usually in the evenings during the week. I guess it just depends on your market and your niche, but just keep your momentum going throughout the weekend. And right here, Sunday, call to actions in the evening are kind of big too, because people are back on Sunday night before work and just kind of winding down from the weekend. Okay, next one. I know I want to say this one came from Breezy, and let's see if I can zoom in. I like this because it's a must-do list. Like, this is your essentials for the business, then your may-dos, and then if you have time and you've done everything else, it's kind of like in school. If you get your work done, then you can get to the computer and play that game. So you have your must-do, may-do, can-dos, and I move my mouse and that moves. Like I said, I'll post this. It's not working. I'm trying to expand or zoom. Here we go. That's not doing it. Oh, I have to touch it. Okay. So expanding your, guys, I'm sorry. Okay, now I just messed it all up. Anyone familiar with this? I'm not familiar with this program.
Maybe if you go up to present, it would blow it up to the full screen.
Present.
Over in the right, up in the right.
Thank you. Thank you. Okay, so this is where I clicked before, and I'll do it again, but tell me, say something if you can't see anything. Are we good? I just don't see you guys anymore. Someone respond?
No, can't see it.
You can't see it? Okay.
No.
Good to know. Well,
that worked the first time, but it didn't work that time. I didn't see any change that time, but the first time you did it, I could still see everything.
Okay. This is not cool. Okay, so while I'm fiddling with this, I'm going to keep my screen share so we have time. You guys unmute and tell me what you've been doing till I can get this figured out, or any questions you have on Power Hours, or any takeaways you had from the National Wake Up Call.
I was just mute. I was just going to say, with the must do, may do, can do, I actually made that at a time when a lot of coaches were like creating a blog and like we're like doing all this like extra stuff, but then they weren't like doing the basic invites. And I think it's so easy to get excited about like extra projects, like revamping a challenge group or setting up a coach training, or, like doing all these extra exciting fun things. Like for me, I like to create stuff like this, like the must do, may do, can do. I like to do stuff like that. So it's easy to like get caught up in side projects when we need to do our must do's first, and then we can go out and do the may do, can do type stuff. So if you struggle with that, like doing things that do pertain to your business but aren't necessarily business building activities, then this is a good list to go with, or do something in this format.
Agreed. Thank you for explaining that. Okay. Thank you. So if you peek in here, just like she said, like project stuff and designing, there was a time when I was getting carried away with my images on my posts and took up 5-10 minutes, but it really should just be like snap a selfie, plug in a quote if I wanted to, and then post it, versus my designs and stuff. So it can be fun to do those things, but depending on your pace and what you want to accomplish with the business, yeah, I needed to tone it down. Okay. Here's one that just came out recently, and I hope that I'm okay sharing this one, but I want to say it came from a Diamond Dash. It was just in my files. So essentially the same ideas here. This coach doesn't go to bed till the Power Hour is done. So that's something else you can set up for yourself to hold yourself accountable. You can't go to bed till it's done. Just the goal of adding coaches each month, hitting Success Club. This is maybe not so much a Power Hour as it is like goals, but again, I'll post that. And here's one that, again, Breezy made recently. I like in here, I'm afraid to click anything. Here we go. See, that's where I messed up. Okay, let's go back. Number 5. And I like this because it's you engaging with people off of social media. Yes, a text is still not face-to-face and verbal talking, but it's still something else. Or I would also put in their email, because some people, I know that I've gotten, or maybe there's one. Number 6, follow-ups on the phone or email. I know there's some people who have responded or haven't even responded on Facebook messages, but have responded to me through email. So if you're not getting a hold of someone, try their email if you've got it. So those are the examples of Power Hours that I have and that I've kind of bounced around. I haven't yet created one for myself. So if you haven't created one for yourself, I challenge you, and as well as myself, to create your own. And whether you're using one of these, but have it posted in your office, in your room, wherever you're working, or in a book, if you're mobile and have to move in your home to work, just have it posted somewhere that you can pull it out every time and make it like a checklist. And when you're done with something, check it off and move through it. Also setting those time limits. So if you want to put all of this in an hour, break it up, do your division, break it up into the time frame, and know that you only have that much time. You could be as strict as with yourself as that, doing it for the time, or, it's called power hour. It might be a power 2 hours or whatever, however long it takes you and however long you want to spend on each individual item. Okay. I'm going to keep sharing just to hold the time, but will you guys unmute yourself if you have a suggestion, something that you do that's working for you, or if you want to share your screen, that's totally doable too. Any questions? When you're ready to chime in, people, you talk. I don't want to do all the talking, but I'm going to go over my notes from National Wake Up Call real quick. The power hour, think of it as if you've got a busy week, this is what she says. If nothing else, this is what you're going to get done. So back to that must do, may do, can do one. If you only have time, like an hour, make sure that all you're doing is your must do's, and your may do's and your can do's can come later. Like the non-negotiable should be those must do's. Did I hear someone come in? So in her power hour, she talks about creating content for your posting, scheduling your posts. That was in one of these. Checking into your challenge groups and building relationships. Make sure you're asking questions and posting about your own workouts. Checking into your personally sponsored pages, as well as, like for us, the tribe page, and adding value there in those groups. If something's working for you, share that in those, in the tribe page and in your personally sponsored page. Be constantly building new relationships and expanding your network, sending out friend requests. And if you remember, she talked about her hey girl messages. And I don't know, Matt, do you do hey guy messages, or is it like what's up dude messages? I'm not sure, but you can adjust that for the males. Anyway, she just says, she's like, hey girl, what's up? She says, hey girl, thanks for accepting my friend request. I noticed, or your kids are cute. I don't know. So basically, if you haven't been doing this and you're like, how do I start a message with someone that I just met or that accepted my friend request, go to their wall, check out the last few posts, crossing your fingers that they posted less than a year ago, and then just kind of adjust your conversation to whatever you see on there. So if they took a trip, ask them how the trip was, or you've been to that place, talk about it. So, and then in her power, she talks about returning all the messages and following up. And no, just because you did your power doesn't mean you're going to sign up 5 coaches and get 20 challengers out of it. But it goes back to the compound effect and consistency. She says you plant your seeds and then you reap your harvest. So just staying consistent and persistent with this power hour. All right.
Just to add to that, Brittany, like when I look at the power hour, everything works together. It's kind of like the 3 vital behaviors. If you leave one of them out, and you do the other 2, it doesn't flow. It doesn't work as good. And so like, I'm just like, I look back at, my business, and like the last month, my power hour has struggled. Like it's gone to junk. Like I've done a few things and I haven't done some, and my business isn't moving forward the way that I want it to. And it's because all of those things work together. Like you can expand your network, but if you're not sending out your messages, it's not going to do you any good. You can send out messages, but if you're not being proof of the product and posting about it on social media, those people aren't going to think you're legit. So you can't just like go through the power hour and be like, oh, well, I want to do this one, but I'm going to skip this one. I don't feel comfortable doing this one, but I'll do this one. Like, you can't do that. You have to, like, when you make your own power hour, make sure all of these business building behaviors are on there, because they're there for a reason. Like, top coaches put these things together because that's what moves your business forward, all of those things together. So.
Great point. And so now, for me not to have my workout and Shakeology and personal development technically on my power hour list, do know that those are non-negotiable for me. So I do them. So it makes sense to have them on there for me to just check off, because I'm that checklist person. So thank you, Breezy. All right, team. Anyone else?
I don't know if I have anything positive to add.
I'm looking for you. Hey,
Basically,
Christy?
I have my power hour, yeah.
Okay.
is, my power hour turns into a power 10 hour, but not very powerful.
Okay.
Like, I can't get off the must-dos. Like, the
Okay.
must-dos I give myself and the must-do list, which I go off Breezy's, but I seriously cannot get off the must-dos in 10 hours. So,
Is there anyone that you get stuck on?
well, the posting in the long challenge group posts.
I told you about that posting. No, I want you to set a timer.
Like, just cut it off.
And whatever your mid-sentence, take that mid-sentence off and stop it at the last one. No, but I just suggest, like I told you this weekend, is maybe take that long post and only spend like 10 minutes on it, but take chunks. This is one day, and now you have 3 days worth of posts versus all of it in one shot, because it's almost like responding to a message. If you word vomit on them, they're just gonna kind of leave it and walk away. So I'm not sure if maybe that will help with engagement in your group, just to have shorter posts. But I mean,
Gotta make myself figure out how to do that. Just, it doesn't matter. They're not going to read it if you put too much there. It doesn't matter how good a content it is.
yeah. Hey, Christy, and what comes to mind is duplication. You're spending so much time on these. Are you saving these posts?
Yeah, but I haven't figured out how to put them in that CSV thing. So I just have them like listed in posts for this group.
Okay. Well, as long as you have them somewhere, we can worry about the CSV later.
Yeah, I need to sort them out. And
Christy, you could also try, if you have like a super long message, make it a video, because you can say it a lot faster than you can type it. So if you have like a super long thing that you want to say, make a video and have it be 5 minutes instead of having it be like, forever long paragraphs of information.
that would be a good idea.
I like it.
My one and only video I've made is horrible too. By the way, how do you delete videos off of YouTube or hide them?
We'll help you with that. Christy. Oh. Well, I think I just set a timer. That's my suggestion for you, for those posts. Just start there and see how that does for you.
And just like, remember, like we kind of talked about this weekend too, like simplicity is key, because if you're putting all this time into your challenge groups, then that time could be spent at other places like recruiting coaches and networking and things like that. And that's what's going to build your business. You value your challengers very much, but once you have an outline, use that outline. Even if you have the same people, that's okay. Like, just, you can mix it up, break up your post, do the videos like they said, but don't overcomplicate it, because your time, like especially you, where you're so busy and have so much going on, like, I mean, you got 8 kids, like you need to, like you can spend this much time on your challenge group, this much time networking, and just make sure that it's kind of that 80-20 rule, 80% on the business building 20% on the other stuff, because that 80% is going to, move your business forward.
I'm gonna keep trying.
Okay, that's
Not
all we ask.
hours in though, I'll tell you. But that'll work.
Yep. Just try it out. Definitely. Just try it out one day where you say, okay, I'm going to only work for this long, or I'm going to, type this long for this post. So, or just take the posts from the files and just use those.
And that's what I would recommend. Seriously, like just tweak them and make them your own, because, and if you have something you want to share, like Tana said, make a video, or, those long posts, put them in a blog and then share the link to the blog, because then they're there on your blog, and then you have the link in the page, and just, then it's there.
The main thing is figuring out put a link to my blog. I don't know how to do that.
Well, just copy, if you put it in your blog, just copy the www whatever, just send them to your blog, be like, hey, I did a blog post.
And really most of it's that I can't, I have to Google 5 times to do one thing, or 10 times to do one thing. So I'll get it figured out one of these days. I'm going to get it.
Yay.
Faster.
Will be good. Practice.
It's coming. I'll mute myself now.
You what?
I'll mute myself now.
Oh, yeah. If you have any other questions, you could say something. Anyone else have any insights? So basically, I challenge you then, if you don't have a power hour, take one of these, print it, use it. Or look at all of them, pull what works for you. In fact, they're all, like Breezy said, these are created from top coaches, because these are the activities that will move you forward. So I want you, and I'm going to do this. You have till Saturday, and I'll have to post it for those who weren't on the call. But I'll just say it this way. I would like you to share your power hour, whether it's just written out and you snap a picture of it, but share that by Friday night before you go out on a date. Share it to the group, and just as accountability to show that you have your power hour. And you can revamp it as you go, but get something in line if you don't have it already. And if you do, post it. So if there's no other input or questions or comments or anything you want to say about anything, it doesn't have to be about power hour. Do you have any questions for the next 2 minutes on anything? You like how I keep scrolling through everyone?
Super fun to see you guys now and actually know more who you are.
Right.
I know who you are. Not have to check out your name so much on the.
Yes, it is wonderful.
Let's all smile and take a picture. 1, 2, 3. Want to do funny faces?
Yes.
Hey, let's do funny faces.
Good job, Steph.
1, 2, 3. Matt, you're doing a funny face.
Oh, I didn't even look at everyone. I was just looking at
I want to know why your picture was a picture of Joe Carden's family.
Oh.
That's my question.
Guess what? It's my turn. Okay, I don't know if that took. All right. Thank you guys for coming on. And yes, this call is recorded. Oh, kind of. Okay. Okay. Peace out, everybody.
Good night.